welcome. This is your boy, the host with the most, but humble, and I do mean humble, Dino Stranavis, aka Derek, and I'm here, of course, on a Thursday to give you the hungry, happy, healthy people here at WrestleCram, of course. The podcast is episode 33. If you're watching it today, you're watching it tomorrow, you're watching it next week. I truly do thank you from the bottom of my heart to the depths of my lines. I truly do thank you. Without you guys, it truly wouldn't be me. I'm humbled each and every single time I'm allowed to do this. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I truly do mean humble every single time I say this. Thank you so much. Before we do anything, I just want to let y'all know I am on the TikToks. Don't forget about that. Your boy is on the TikToks at DNostranavis. Over there, putting clips over there, tons of clips over there you can enjoy over there. Also, if you don't want to go over there, you're not on TikTok, you can actually go to my Twitter page, which is The Real Derek, DERICK, 86. You can go check me out over there as well. And if you don't want to do that as well, I also do have a Facebook group page. It is called the WrestleCram Super Club. WrestleCram Super Club. You can go over there and check me out as well. It is not private. It is for everybody. I post on there on a regular basis, very religiously. If you want to go over there and hang out with me, you can do that as well. Also, I have clips, ungodly amounts of clips over here on the YouTubes as well. You have until today to get your questions in, so your boy can get the episode of Ask WrestleCram taken care of. I think I got like a ton of questions already. A ton of questions. Y'all are truly getting these questions in or whatnot. I truly do thank you so much for those questions as well. It's going to be a really fun show on Friday, so don't forget about that as well, you guys. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I think I already said that, but also don't forget to hit the notification bell. Also, don't forget to get those comments in. I love those comments. Even if you're over there on the Facebook, you can go check me out and get your comments in. I'm gonna tell you this now. If I see a comment, I'm usually gonna say something or whatnot. That's usually me, because I'm always on there and I'm always looking. So, if you get a comment in, go have fun with it or whatnot. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the news segment part of this. So we're going to talk about AEW Collision. It is under 500 views this go around. This is from Cultaholic. Don't forget to go check out cultaholic.com. Also, they do have a Facebook group page as well, and they are on the YouTubes as well. So go and hang out with them. Great channel. I love their top 10s. Don't forget to go support Cultaholic. This is AEW Collision saw another drop in viewership in the United States for the third episode of on Saturday, July 1st. That's Brandon Thurston of WrestleNomics. If I said your name wrong, I do apologize. Has reported the latest edition of Collision on TNT averaged about 452,000 views and a 0.13 rating on the key 18 to 45 demographic, estimated to be about 172,000 viewers. The show was a 24% drop in total viewership from last week's show, and a 37% drop in the 18 to 45 age demographic. The show viewership peaked between 9 p.m. and 9:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Juice Robinson and Ricky Starks match, which averaged about 486,000 viewers. Collision draws similar ratings to the June 30th episode of Rampage, which averaged about 450,000 viewers and a 0.13 rating in the demo over the 1 hour show. The third episode was ultimately below the Warner Brothers expectations. but they're hoping to draw from the Saturday night show with the reports. Nothing. The media conglomerate is hoping to average between 550,000 to 600,000 viewers and a 0.221 rating in the 18 to 45 year old demographic. In the 2 hours, the time slot, TNT was previously averaging between a 0.10 and 0.15 rating below eight in the 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Saturday nights. The third episode of AEW Collision featured an impromptu AEW World Title match between MJF and All Ego Ethan Page, as well as the Owen Hart Foundation tournament matches. Matches, of course, that was with Samoa Joe and Roderick Strong, which was the main event, and Powerhouse Hobbs and the Natural Dustin Rose. CM Punk was only featured on commentary on the show before he made a save for Roderick Strong following the main event match against Samoa Joe, and the show was taped ahead of time. That was on the Thursday, the 29th. They also forgot that CM Punk dived in to help Ricky Starks as well. But I just wanted to get that as well. But yeah, I did see it was previously taped. I did say that. I think I said it was going to be previously taped on Thursday as well. If I did not, I knew it was going to be there because I already read onto that. Now, here's the thing. I will say this. There's a lot of people out there saying that, oh, CM Punk is not going to save AEW Dynamite. And I was like, you know what? It's okay. I mean, I think it's more than CM Punk. I think it's more of a group effort. But if you dig deeper into that entire article or whatnot, they were getting only 0.10 rating on Saturdays. And the last time I checked on Saturdays on TNT, I think they're like doing like a ton of Marvel movies or a ton of like Star Wars, you know, like movies that we've seen over and over and over again. So I'm okay with that. I mean, if you're getting a very low rating and it slightly went up, like it didn't even slightly went up, it went up a lot. It went up like 20 points. Well, not even 20 points, like 10 points. It went up 10 points. I mean, or 0.010 points. But I mean, it still is doing a really great job. And I will say this as well. Give it some time. This is only episode 3. Give it some time. That's all you need right now. Just a little bit of time. And yes, I am hearing a friend of mine on another group page that I'm on, Variant. They were it was a young lady I was talking to, and she was like, "Well, you know, you have college coming out as well," which is true. But AEW comes on at 7. All of the college games are going to be in the morning, and you do have like some prime matches as well. You'll have those, but I mean, that's kind of far from all of the matches that are going to be in the morning. So, I understand where they're coming from, but I understand where I'm coming from as well. I truly think it's a win-win-win situation regardless of the situation, because once again, you're putting in a slot where you were already losing. And now you put in a slot where it's a very active show. There's no wrestling on Saturdays, not to my knowledge. And you're getting really good ratings regardless on if it's under a certain amount. You're still getting a ton of ratings on Saturdays. I mean, usually on Saturdays, I am not watching TV. Well, usually I'm not watching TV a lot at all, but usually, if you got me sitting down on a Saturday, I mean, what more can you say? I mean, that's really creepy coming from a guy who truly doesn't watch a lot of stuff on Saturday or whatnot. So I will say they're doing a good job. I mean, keep it up. I personally think that the Collision is better than Dynamite. To me, I truly think it is. I mean, but in the comments, what do you think? Do you think that they are losing? Do you think they're winning? Also, do you think that Collision is better than Dynamite? I truly think Collision is better than Dynamite. It has a better feel. I enjoy the matches. I enjoy everything over there. Like, I don't really have a lot of bad to talk about when it comes to Collision. But once again, I mean, Dynamite's not bad either. But I'm just saying, though, if I had to choose between Collision and Dynamite, I would choose Collision. Collision is better. But let's get into it. Let's get for the NXT. NXT was it was okay. It was okay. We got I thought the main event was really good. But you know, it was okay, and I kind of we're seeing what's gonna happen with of course Tony D'Angelo and Gallus. We'll see what happens with that at the Great American Bash. But you know, it was kind of an up and down type of situation, a huge roller coaster when it came to NXT. But let's get into it. The very first match on the card was Roxanne Perez versus Blair Davenport. Don't forget, Blair Davenport was the young lady attacking pretty much everybody that was newcomers, incomers coming in. She was attacking everybody. And Roxanne Perez was truly pissed behind that, and she wants to make sure to put everything back into order. So she finally gets the match with Blair Davenport. It was a pretty lengthy match. I do like that they are putting women in the show, but you know, this match I think was just way too long for its taste. I think, and I will say this at the beginning, we got a dry, where, you know, Blair Davenport comes out and it's dry ice, so she gets a lot of, you know, steam and stuff. But I didn't know that Roxanne Perez was going to attack her during her intro, and the dry ice did not settle. So they were attacking each other, and we really didn't see a lot of the action because of the dry ice. But when all of that subsided, you know, we got a crazy suplex reversal by Roxanne Perez. Lots of suicide dives by Roxanne Perez as well. Blair Davenport throwing Roxanne Perez into the steel steps and giving her a knee off of the steel steps. That was pretty devastating. But at the very end, Blair Davenport did win with two knees to the face and knocking her out, giving her the opportunity to win. Like I said, it was a very long match, very lengthy match. Not too much for my taste because, remember, this is NXT. I truly think that some matches don't need a lot of flow when it comes to that because it's developmental and you kind of want a lot of people on the card still trying to get their matches in as well, especially the super new people that they're trying to bring in as well. Other than that, we had Ivy Nile. She was on the backstage doing an interview, and she was just saying that she's very nervous, but the Creed brothers are very focused, and their passion is NXT. But they are trying to get rid of Schism. They are saying they're very poisoned to the NXT. So Tiffany Stratton comes in. She's saying, "Why are you not interviewing me? I'm the one that is important. I should be the one that you should be interviewing." But Ivy was like, "Dude, you tapped out. I mean, you really actually technically lost." But Tiffany Stratton said something smart. She said, apparently everybody wasn't looking because the referee held my hand and I still hold the NXT Women's Championship. Smart. So Ivy was like, apparently she wants a piece of her as well. So she leaves, but she asks a question, and I'm happy she asked this question. So she says that, so if the Creed brothers lose, will Ivy Nile leave with them? So the reporter says, or the announcer, she says, technically no. The only people that are leaving will be either the Dyad or it would be the Creed brothers. That's it. So Schism would have still been in NXT. It just would have been the dyad leaving, of course, the leaving for main roster. That's pretty much what it was going to be. So that was the end of that segment. We get a Baron Corbin video package where he's at a incinerator and he's throwing all of his old memorabilia, all of his old gimmicks into the incinerator. Happy Corbin, King Corbin, Commissioner Corbin, or Constable Corbin. He's throwing all of that back in there, and he wants to be back to the original, where he's saying that he is going to be now known as the Lone Wolf of Baron Corbin, which was a very smart move. I enjoyed the Lone Wolf thing with Baron Corbin, but we'll see what happens with this. I truly think of him probably being the next NXT champion. Hopefully, we'll see. But after that, we get a Mustafa Ali versus Tyler Bate. Once again, this match was pretty lengthy, and I think it was too lengthy for what it was supposed to be. At the beginning of the match, we got a ton of false pins, just a ton of false pins. Mustafa didn't really show a lot of what he was supposed to. So, I mean, it really wasn't a good match. It kind of turned me off of the entire match until the very end, where we got Tyler trying to do a top rope move. He runs into the ropes, balls on the ropes. He falls down. We get a 450 splash by Mustafa Ali to win the match. But that wasn't the thing of the match. The thing was, after the match, he goes to the camera. Mustafa Ali goes to the camera and says, "I am challenging Wes Lee at the Great American Bash. That's who I'm challenging." So we'll have that. Hopefully we'll have that match at the Great American Bash. After that, we get Joe Gacy and Ava Raine backstage interview, saying that Joe Gacy was just saying that I would have never put this match together for them to leave, but they are very confident and their hearts are in it. They will most definitely push out the Creed brothers. They are no longer wanted or needed in the NXT locker room. After that, we get takes them Paxley versus a up newcomer. Is it Bomani Johnson? She's a very brand new person, very green, but she did a great job. A really nice match. She puts her in a stunner, like it was an inverted stunner, and pins and wins. It was a good match. It was a good match. But you know, she's still kind of green. I thought it was very fun. She's a very I'm guessing a collegiate tumbler, or I think she's a gymnast. So she has a lot of stuff that's going. Had a lot of stuff on the actual when they come out, they'll show all of their accolades. They did a great job with that. But after the match, we get Cora Jade. And with Miss Jackson, Dana Brooke was by her side, but Cora Jade comes out. She says, "Congratulations, Bomani, for your very first win in NXT." But you know, and you have also Dana Brooke by your side, so you must be doing something right. But she says, "But I don't need anybody. I don't want anybody. I don't need anybody. I'm good." But Miss Jackson says, Bomani says, "Shut up. I'm done with you. If you want to come out here and wrestle, you can come out here and wrestle." She says, "No, I wrestle when I want to wrestle," and then she leaves. That was the end of that. I was like, okay, what was the point of you being here, Cora Jade? I like you a lot, but, you know, what was the point of you being there? Like, you know, are we going to set up an angle now with a brand new person against Cora Jade? I mean, we'll see. We'll see with that. After that, we get the Chase U University video package with Duke Hudson and, of course, Andre Chase back. Andre Chase gave Duke Hudson tons of praise for all the stuff that he did do while he was gone. But he does say that Drew Gulak and Charlie Dempsey will no longer be guest lecturers at Chase U. The person behind him says, we won't see him again. And it was like, no, we're not going to see him again. So it looks like they will be facing Drew Gulak and Charlie Dempsey in the Great American Bash. Looks like that's what's going to happen with that, with the Chase U thing. Also, he did give praise to Thea Hale for her win against Tiffany Stratton, but nobody saw it. So he did praise the heck out of Thea Hale for the attempt for the match, pretty much of Gold Rush over there. I think it was the main event. Yeah, it was the main event. So after that, we go to the NXT Underground with Eddie Thurop, and Gable Stevenson is on the side of Eddie versus Damian Kemp. When I tell you this match was something that I did not like, something that should not happen. I just thought that this was something that just should not be. And I will say this, the reason why I say this is because of the really bad looking botch that Damian Kemp did on Eddie, which looks like he almost fell on his freaking neck. He did a belly to belly back suplex off of the ring into the outside, where it looks like he literally almost fell on his neck. It looked very dangerous. I didn't like it. If you want to do UFC and be real with it. But this is wrestling where this is choreographed, and it should not be like this. I'm sorry. In the comments, did you like the match? Like I said, I didn't personally. I didn't like the NXT situation, and it's totally different from the underground that was on WWE, the main roster. So this is totally different. So at the end, we got multiple elbows on the top of Damian Kemp, and the ref stopped the match for Eddie to actually win. We get Enhancement Talent 1 messing with the gold thing. What's that? Olympic gold medal that Gable Stevenson had. He gets put into a back suplex. Enhancement Talent 2 gets a belly to belly. Inverted belly to belly. This guy's very, very strong. Number 3 gets a crazy back suplex, and the last Enhancement Talent, who's bigger, way taller than him, he gets a belly to belly as well. All I can say is Gable Stevenson looks really, really good. I want to see more of him. Thank goodness we actually saw him or whatnot. But I thought he was actually going from that to main roster. I may be wrong, but we'll see what happens with this. But once again, just wasn't a huge fan of the underground segment there. After that, we get a Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams segment where he does call out the Judgment Day. He says he doesn't take threats lightly. He also says that he will most definitely, he's inviting all of Judgment Day, including Dirty Dom, to NXT next week. He says nobody's safe with Damian Priest holding that briefcase as well. He says, but he says, when he shoots nobody, he never misses. So we'll see what happens with that. After that, we get a Tony D'Angelo video package where, long story short, we're going to have a match between Stacks versus Joe Coffey. And whoever wins, if Stacks wins, I have to go through it. If Stacks wins, they will drop the charges. Gallows will tell them it wasn't him. They'll drop the charges, and they will have a match at the Great American Bash for the tag titles against Gallows. But if Joe Coffey wins, they will not only keep him in jail, but I'm guessing that they're going to put Stacks in there as well. I don't know. Tony D'Angelo is furious with this situation, but it is what it is. We'll see that match next week between the two. After that, we got JC Jane versus Lyra Valkyria. I'm sorry. It's so many Valken people. It's just crazy. So we get another match that I thought was extremely long for no apparent reason. But Valkyria did win with that nice black mass or spinning heel kick to JC Jane. JC Jane got a lot of offense in after the fact, in the middle of the on the outside. But once again, it was just a long, drawn out match to me or whatnot with this situation. But it is what it is. After that, we get a Noam Dar video package where he is obsessing over the Heritage Cup, the cup that he did lose to Nathan Frazier. He is just very saddened by that situation. He's talking to it like it's an ex-love. He's saying that I will get you back. And it's just a picture of the Heritage Cup. So eventually, and he does say that there will be a Supernova Sessions next week. So I'm guessing it will be probably Nathan Frazier will be his guest. After that, we get a Kiana James video package. Lots of video packages. So she goes, she attempts to go into her office. It says wet paint on the door. She goes into the door office. It is completely destroyed. Paint everywhere. And on top of one of the paint cans, it's a letter from Gigi Dolan. And it says that the note saying, you can never outrun your past. So Kiana James says, Gigi Dolan, the gloves are off now. So we'll see what happens with that situation. During the coming back from the commercial, we get Von Wagner destroying Javier Bernard. I didn't even know the dude was still on the freaking roster, for crying out loud. So he almost power bombs him onto the commentator's desk. Mr. Stone stops it. He tries to attempt to throw him into the crowd. Mr. Stone stops it. But we finally get a powerbomb onto the commentator's desk, and that was the end of that. I mean, Von Wagner is so over now, it makes no sense. But after that, we get the Price and, is it Nima? Pierce and Nima, or Price and Nima. This is a new tag team that's coming into NXT. They will debut next week. I can't wait to see how they're doing. Looks like another Crime Time type of group, but we'll see what happens with that. So we finally get the Loser Leave NXT match. This is between the Dyad and the Creed brothers. And I will say this, well deserved to the Creed brothers for actually now going to the main roster. Please have them go to SmackDown, because SmackDown does not have anybody. So we truly need them to go to SmackDown. Really, I mean, long and short, the Creed brothers did a lot of offense, almost winning, but unfortunately, we get Ava Raine. Ava Raine comes in to try to distract the ref. Ivy Nile attacks Ava Raine, giving the opportunity for a new person, new challenger to come in, headbutting Julius, giving Dyad the opportunity to do their finisher to win. The Creed brothers are now out of NXT. So we have a new challenger, a new member of Schism coming in. We'll see what happens with that. I would love to see who this new person is. It's going to be very fun, innovative. But once again, I'll say this. The show was okay. Just like I said, it was very ups and downs when it came to peaks and valleys when it came to NXT this go around. No Carmelo Hayes. No Dragon Lee. No, not a lot of heavy hitters in this show this go around. Lots of video package upon video packages upon video packages. Tons of video packages this go around on NXT. But once again, the Creed brothers, I will say that much love to the Creed brothers. I know that they're going to do really good in the new in their new position wherever they go. So I can't wait to see what happens with them. After that, we let's go to AEW Dynamite. Pretty fun show. with AEW Dynamite. An electric crowd, I would say that, over there in, I think it's Ontario, they were in this go around. So we get a match, the very first match, which was the Blind Eliminator Tag Tournament. It's going to be Darby Allin and Orange Cassidy versus Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland. I'm still lost behind this. This storyline is just not good. But anyway, before that, we get a interview between Darby Allin and Keith Lee. He's just telling Keith Lee that he used to be a very dominant champion. He tells him he needs to get back to his old roots, pull whatever he has to do to win. If he has to win by himself, he has to win by himself. He doesn't need him on the edge of the ring and crying about it. After that, he leaves. Keith Lee says, stupid, but very, very ballsy. After that, we get the match itself. Just it's crazy. So we get the match. At the beginning of the match, Keith Lee is just dominating Orange Cassidy. But I will say this, thank goodness we didn't get a lot of Orange Cassidy, because Orange Cassidy has been wrestling all day, every single go around on Dynamite. But it looks like the match was pretty much about Keith Lee and Swerve and how they are going to coexist with each other. It didn't happen. We get a 450 frog splash from Swerve to Keith Lee. We also get a spot where he attacks him again with a Shining Wizard knocking him out, giving Darby Allin the opportunity for the Last Supper pin and the win. That was pretty much the end. Hopefully we can now get to where the storyline consists of Swerve and Keith Lee, because apparently Keith Lee is not even friends, or not even with Dustin anymore. So I'm still lost. What happened between these two being, collaborating? So I'm still lost behind that. But after that, we get an Adam Cole and MJF video package. They're going to go work out together, and he's on the weight bench, MJF, and he has a lot of weight on, and he's doing a lot of bench pressing. He sees a heavyset guy, and he start talking about the heavyset guy. And Adam Cole says, "Yo, you can't do that in this day and age." But he says, "Do you know who he reminds me of?" And they both say Tony Schiavone. So after that, Adam Cole gets onto the weight bench. He said, "Do you want to take some of the weight off?" He's like, "No, I'm gonna bench press all this." So he bench pressed all of that. The heavyset guy is even impressed. MJF is like, "What the?" And it goes off. And then we get now the Acclaimed versus the Bollywood Boys. This was a very quick match. We get the mic drop and win. After that, we get QTV, where Holly is just saying that she has a video package of her skills rapping as well. That's going to be on Rampage on Friday. Billy Gunn gets on the mic. He says, "I got 2 words for you." And the 2 words. But anyway, after that, we get the Eddie Kingston video package. Him defeating Kenta to win the never openweight championship. Congratulations to Eddie Kingston for his very first championship. After that, we get a video package of Jon Moxley talking about the history between Eddie Kingston and himself. And he's just saying that, dude, you don't need to be angry all the time. You don't need to be disrespectful all the time. Disrespecting, of course, the new generation, the new talent that's coming in. You don't need to do all that. But he also tells them to answer his phone. So we'll see what happens with that, because once again, the situation is with the Blackpool Combat Club and Eddie Kingston. Eddie Kingston saying, you don't need the Blackpool Combat Club. You're good by yourself. He was good by himself because he was the AEW champion 3 times, and one of the longest reigning AEW champions, matter of fact. Really, really dominant champion when he was. But after that, we get the Blood and Guts announcement, of course. Who is going to be the 5th man on either side? Of course, Eddie Kingston can't do it because he's in the G1 Classic. and of course Bryan Danielson with his broken wrist, so he can't do it as well. So we'll find out who will be on both sides. The Blackpool Combat Club will have Wheeler Yuta. It'll be Wheeler Yuta, Claudio Castagnoli, Jon Moxley, and Konosuke Takeshita, I think. So it's gonna be the fourth member, I'm thinking, because the Elite is gonna have Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, Hangman Page, and their second person. So it'll be 5-on-5. But who is it? It's gonna be Claudio, Jon Moxley, Wheeler Yuta, Konosuke Takeshita, and their fifth person. So it'll be a 5-on-5 match. We'll see who those extra people will be in those matches. But after that, we get a Matt Hardy. He'll find out who his blind tag member will be, and he says it's gonna be Jeff. He's like, all right, it's gonna be Brother Jeff, right? He said, no, it's gonna be Jeff Jarrett. He's like, God, I hate this guy. So he'll have his match on Rampage or whatnot. We'll see what happens with that. After that, we get a Wheeler Yuta a video package. Yeah, Wheeler Yuta. Yeah, I'm number one. I'm the one that pinned Kenny Omega. Yeah, he's so annoying. He's the most annoying guy in the world, I'm telling you. But he was just saying that he pinned Kenny Omega. He's gonna pin him again. Spoiler: that's not what happens. But anyway, out comes Chris Jericho. He's just saying that he took a lot of L's. These couple of months, and he needs to reinvigorate himself. He needs to. He drove around. He came a couple of days ago, and was just driving around. And he's like, "Dude, I can be a better version of myself." Out comes Don Callis. He says that without you and Kenny Omega being the main event at Tokyo when they were, it probably would not have been a this. It wouldn't have been AEW. You would have been champion. This would not have happened without Don Callis putting everything together. Chris Jericho says, I could say the same about you when you was going around and me bringing you back into the wrestling industry. So without me, you wouldn't have been back. Also, he says, Don Callis says, I'm building a group full of members and trust. And he said, dude, I trust you. He said, but I would love for you to join the Don Callis family. So he's like, so you want me to join your faction? He's like, dude, I create factions. He's like, I don't join factions. But, the answer is maybe. And then he leaves. After that, we get a video package of Samoa Joe and CM Punk. They will be probably the main event of Collision. That will be the semifinals for the Owen Hart tournament. Also, they have a video package of Powerhouse Hobbs and Ricky Starks that goes back long, long ago. Can't wait to see what happens with this. If you don't know, I did do a whole thing about this. So hopefully my predictions are right and we have this situation. But Powerhouse Hobbs and Ricky Starks, they are in the semifinals on the left-hand bracket of the Owen Hart Foundation tournament. After that, we get a video package of Roderick Strong backstage with Roderick Strong and his update. Doctor is saying that he's healing fine, but he does need some time to heal, so he can't do anything. Has a neck brace on. In comes Adam Cole. He's like, dude, I just need you to just heal. Relax, take your time. Day by day with this situation. Roderick says, dude, what's the deal between you and MJF? He's like, dude, I have this all under control. And then he got a text message saying, hey, what's up, bro? Are we gonna hit this double clothesline? He was like, yeah, whatever. So after that, we finally get the blind elimination tag match. That's with Adam Cole and MJF versus Butcher and Daddy Magic. MJF, before the match starts, MJF asks me, like, dude, where's your shirt? Where's your shirt? You don't have your shirt. But, eventually, where this match is consistently about MJF just getting destroyed. And Adam Cole not wanting to tag in, eventually just seeing that, MJF is getting destroyed, finally allows himself to open up, get a tag in, and win the match eventually by himself because um, apparently MJF wanted a tag to do the double clothesline, but that didn't happen. We get the boom by on Daddy Magic for them to win the match. After that, we get a MJF getting on the mic saying that, dude, we should have another bro session. And everybody was like, yes, yes, yes. And Adam Cole was like, yeah, let's do that. After that, we one more thing, Adam Cole, and he wished him a happy birthday. We got confetti. We got the AFW staff coming in with a birthday cake. And MJF starts singing. The dude has just pipes on him. That's one thing about the dude. He can really, really sing. So they want to blow out the candles, and MJF's talking to the cameraman saying, "I'm gonna put his face in the cake." That didn't happen. It reverses. He throws MJF face into the cake, and he does open up to now MJF saying, "Thank you so much for everything," and he says, "My friend," and he leaves. So we'll see what happens with that. I like MJF face. I like him as a face. He's really, really good. I like him. So we'll see what happens with that. After that, we get a Brett Baker DMD backstage interview saying that it sucks that Ruby has to lose in the first round instead of the last round of the Owen Hart Foundation tournament. She also says that I haven't really taken anything from you except the main event and except, of course, the first ever Owen Hart tournament. Of course, she throws on that beautiful, beautiful pink belt that they both Adam Cole and Britt Baker has. But we will see what happens with this later on. We get a backstage with Chris Jericho, Sammy Guevara, and Daniel Garcia. Chris Jericho says, dude, I can't be your leader forever. You're going to have to learn how to get out there and do it yourself as well. Renee Paquette says that they did choose both of those as to be the blind eliminator. They are now tag team partners. So he's like, dude, sometimes you got to get out the nest. You got to learn how to fly. And that's what you have to do. I didn't say yes or no to Don Callis, but it looks like the Chris Jericho Appreciation Society may be coming to an end. That's what it looks like. So, I can deal with that. I'm okay with that situation. I think Daniel Garcia is coming into himself. I like the new dancing gimmick, Daniel Garcia. Also, Sammy Guevara has always been his own man. So, I mean, it looks like everything's going to work itself out regardless of the situation. So, after that, we do get a Ruby Soho versus Britt Baker quarterfinals for the Owen Hart women's division. Really, really fun match this go around. It ended where, of course, we got tons of shenanigans. At the beginning of the match, we almost get a lockjaw at the beginning of the match, but Ruby Soho does get out of the way. Britt Baker gets a lot of just tons of respect from me because it was a 3-on-1 when it came to everything. Tons of shenanigans by Saraya and the women's champion Toni Storm. Toward the end, we do get a attempt lockjaw by Ruby Soho. We do get a lockjaw by Britt Baker, but we get a distraction by Saraya, giving the opportunity to get the title. Toni Storm throwing Britt Baker into the title, putting the what's her special, that finisher, that no future on her, but we do get a kick out. But at the very end, Ruby Soho does win with the help of both Saraya and Tony Storm. It came out to be the very same finisher at the main event or the finals of the last Owen Hart tournament, but Ruby actually flips her over and they grab her to give the leverage for Ruby Soho to win. So it was a really fun match. I thought it was really good. At the very end, Sky Blue comes out and just faces Ruby Soho. They will have their match next Wednesday on Dynamite. After that, we get the final, the main event, which was Kenny Omega versus Wheeler Yuta. Yeah. The story consists of lots of pressure on the neck. Kenny Omega is still trying to get over this 5-star or 6-star match that Dave Nelson put on the Ospreay and Kenny Omega. So he's still kind of suffering from that match at Forbidden Door. Crazy suplex, super suplex off the top rope by Kenny Omega. Lots of moves working the neck of Kenny Omega by Wheeler Yuta. Don Callis comes out. To distract the ref. Right behind Kenny Omega, we get a beautiful blue thunderbomb by Konosuke Takeshita, giving Wheeler Yuta the opportunity for a beautiful splash off the top rope. 1-2, but Kenny Omega kicks out. Wheeler Yuta's frustrated. He gets back on the top rope, but Kenny Omega catches him, putting him in the one-wing angel to win the match. I knew that there was going to be some shenanigans at the end, and of course, I was right. But my DVR cut off. So I had to look on YouTube to see what happened. So it cuts off at 9 o'clock. I need to put it on where it extends for like another 5-10 minutes. I need to do that. I don't know why I didn't do that yet. So when I get done with y'all, I'm gonna go to my DVR and I'm gonna fix that. Claudio Castagnoli comes in and attacks Kenny Omega, but right behind him is the Young Bucks and Adam Hangman Page. He gets put in the VTE trigger, and it looks like we get a chair shot by Hangman, but we do hear Tony Schiavone say, "Hit him with the chair," and that was the end of that. So once again, it was a fun show. I am loving this blind eliminator tag tournament, and of course, I'm loving the Owen. I've loved the very first Owen Hart tournament, so I'm loving all of the tournaments. They do a great job when it comes to tournaments. I just love their tournament stature. It's really fun. I enjoy everything about it. They do tournaments the way it's supposed to be. Get that? Do you get that, WWE? They do tournaments good. So great job with that as well. So let's go into now my new segment, which are pros and cons of both of the shows. Since I did NXT first, we're going to go with the NXT. The pros to me was the main event, which was really good. A loser leaves NXT. The Creed brothers, once again, deserve this, what happened. And they truly deserve to be on the main roster. The question is, where would they be? I think that the WWE main roster on the Raw side is just fully loaded. We need to put them on SmackDown. I've been said that they need to be put on SmackDown. Put them in a stable. I mean, turn them heel. Do something that consists of them doing and breaking out. That's the thing. They need to break out. And I think that they will break out. Great job with that. Also, now the cons. The cons. I'm sorry. The pros as well. We are getting a brand new member to Schism. So it looks like they are doubling down on the faction. It looks like we will get a Joe Gacy championship run. That's what it looks like. I can't wait to see who this next person is going to be in Schism. I really enjoy Schism. I think Ava Rain is a really great addition to Schism. And hopefully the Dyad or the grizzled young veterans have probably came to a conclusion like, hey, I think we're doing good here. Let's keep it going, So much love over there to Schism as well. But with pros, there are cons, and cons, way too many long matches. Way too many long matches. The energy in NXT this go around was not the best as well. And the biggest thing was, to me, was the underground. The NXT underground was not the best. I really did not enjoy that. It was the worst thing I've seen on TV. And when I tell you that I'm so happy that Eddie is okay, but that botch could have been something a little bit worse. And I'm happy that, we'll see. But hopefully they get rid of the NXT Underground altogether. Let's go from NXT to AEW. The pros of AEW this go around. Once again, the blind eliminator tags are so good. I love the MJF and Adam Cole segments. It seems that MJF is now finally getting Adam Cole to his side. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens with the storyline. It's a very fun storyline as well. Also, now we're getting into the women's Owen Hart tournament. We got the one with, of course, Ruby Soho and Britt Baker, which was a very fun match. Lots of shenanigans, but very fun match. And the crowd was very, very electric. Really fun really, really great energy there. The cons, the main event, the match itself, with Wheeler Yuta being the main event. I think they did this another time with him and Daniel Garcia, which it was not good. I don't know why they are trying to put so many eggs into this basket where it comes to Wheeler Yuta being this. It just wasn't the thing for me. Also, the Jungle Boy and Hook segment. I don't even think I talked about this go around, but let's talk about it. Yes, I think I did. But Jungle Boy challenged Hook to a match for the FTW title, a title which he says is not even a legit title. So why would you go for it? After that, we get Hook. Hook attacks Jungle Boy, but Jungle Boy jumps back into the car and they speed off again. I'm gonna have to give it some time because Jungle Boy just cannot talk. So I will see more. We'll see more about that. Hopefully, we'll see more about that. But those are my pros. Those are my cons of both shows. What are your pros and cons on the show as well? Also, what do you think about Collision? Do you think that this is still a success since it is under 500 viewers on a Saturday? So on that time slot, do you think it's a good? Also, how about NXT? Do you think NXT was good? Do you think the Creed brothers deserve to be kicked out of NXT and go to the main roster? Also, Judgment Day. Judgment Day will be on NXT next Tuesday to face Carmelo Hayes. We'll see what happens with that. Tiffany Stratton. We'll see what happens with Tiffany Stratton as well. Also, what do you think about AEW, the Blind Eliminated Tag Tournament, the Owen Hart tournament as well? What do you think about Adam Cole and MJF? It's a lot of stuff that's going on AEW that is really fun. Also, what do you think about my pros and cons of the night? This is the very first one I did. What do you think about that? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, you guys. Like, share, and subscribe. Also, don't forget I'm on the TikToks at DNostradamus. I'm on Twitter at TheRealDerrick, DERRICKG86. Also, I do have my own Facebook group page. It is WrestleCram Super Club. Wrestle Cram Super Club. It is not private. It's for everybody to enjoy. I love y'all so much. I love y'all so much. The best is truly yet to come. Until next time, love, peace, and of course, my hat. My hat was, hold on for one second. I love my hat. Until next time, love, peace, and of course, wrestling.